Okay, my first question is for the CFO. Reading through this, I see you're projecting 2 million something as a year-end positive variance within the planning department. Am I correct?
Through you, Madam Speaker, yes, it's 2.6 million, I believe.
2.6, thank you. And my understanding is that this is because we're getting a lot more applications than we had projected, and therefore there's more revenue.
That's correct.
Now, my memory is that, first of all, planning fees are supposed to be cost recovery, and secondly, that because they're supposed to be cost recovery, where we have a positive variance, we put them into a reserve account so that we can later recover them in times when the planning department needs more staff than the fees are covering. Is that roughly correct?
That's basically correct. I don't believe it's 100% cost recovered, but that's basically correct.
But the pieces where there are application fees, they're supposed to be cost recovered.
Right. So often a complex application, a large application will come in, they pay the fee up front, but we know that the work needs to happen over the course of 1 or more years, 2 years, so we draw that down.
Right. Now, if I remember, this isn't, we've actually collected more fees than we've spent in the planning department for a couple of years running now.
Yes, I believe that's the case, yes.
Okay. So, to the Chief Planner. Speaker, I have no idea how much time I've used.
I forgot to turn it on.
Oh, wonderful. Everyone wins. I'll limit myself to 4 minutes. To the Chief Planner.
I was distracted.
I know my questions were so good, right? It is my experience, and I've talked to several of my colleagues, at least in Toronto East York Community Council. I don't know if it's the case in the other community councils. We're experiencing a bit of a workload crush right now. Probably tied to the fact we're getting so many applications and all these new fees. Is that my impression correct?
Through the Speaker, that's correct.
We have a series of service standards for how quickly we're supposed to manage applications, both complex applications, regular applications, and applications to the Committee of Adjustment. Are you confident we will meet those service standards this year? Or might we be struggling a bit and miss some of them?
Through the Speaker, there are 2 sets of performance standards, if you will. There are legislative requirements which we do not meet, given the volume of applications that we have, and then there are a series of internal standards that we've created that we have posted on our website. We are also not meeting those standards at this time.
And those were approved by Council as part to the CFO. We approved to the CFO or Ms. Levita or whomever it is. The service standards are part of what Council approves when we do our budget approval every year. Is that correct?
Through you, Madam Chair, yes.
Okay. So we have a set of Council-approved service standards, which the Chief Planner tells us we're not able to meet. We have a cost recovery program, which is currently generating positive cash flow. Why are we not using that positive cash flow to put resources into meeting the Council-approved service standards?
Through the Speaker, one point of clarification, we are in fact meeting our service standards with respect to studies that we undertake. And
I understand in terms of studies, but in
them.
terms of the speed of processing applications, I think it's 80% of all regular applications within 18 months and so on and so
Correct.
forth. Those ones.
Through the Speaker, we would in fact need an adjustment to the budget to authorize an increase in the staff complement. Okay. Not an increase, as you've correctly stated, the money is in the budget. The challenge is that we would need an increase in the complement to have those positions filled.
Thank you very much. That's quite helpful. To the CFO, am I correct when I understand that an increase in the complement within the amount of money that we're generating as fees has no impact on the operating budget tied to the property tax? We wouldn't need to make any adjustment there or find savings in a different department. We in fact have this reserve fund that we've been paying into for a couple of years now and are still paying into this year. We could improve our staffing complement to meet the Council-approved service standards without having to affect the tax-supported budget. Am I correct there?
So through you, Madam Speaker, as long as the chief planning official can confirm that the revenues in there are adequate to meet their future needs, then yes, if you can confirm that, then you could do that without an impact on the tax levy.
Okay. Final question. I don't know.
And those revenues are sustained for years.
Final question. I don't know to whom I would address this. What is the process to enable the chief planner to meet the council-approved service standards without having to impact on the tax-supported budget?
If I understand the question correctly, if you're asking how do I get an increase in temporary staffing to address that, it would be at this report, because this is when we do
So it
budget
would be by
adjustments.
motion?
By
here?
motion, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.